North Carolina has a little of everything: mountains, ocean, cities, farms. But it's also diverse when it comes to people's opinions on politics. Republicans, Democrats, and what's known as unaffiliated voters, they're all over the state. This week, I'm traveling through North Carolina to take a closer look at whether this battleground state could actually flip Democrat for the first time since 2008, or will it vote Republican again? Let's find out. All right, hey guys, I'm Reuben Jones. I've been reporting on North Carolina for more than 7 years now. I used to live in the state, and now I cover North Carolina politics from Washington, D.C. Look, this state is so critical in November, potentially for both campaigns. So even if you don't know much about North Carolina, we're going to tell you a lot about it because it is so critical. Look, the Democrats, they've been trying to flip this state for numerous elections now, and they just keep coming up short. So we're going to try and answer that question of whether Democrats can flip this state blue. I'm going to talk to both campaigns, get a feel of what they're doing. Also going to talk to voters and make a lot of different stops on this trip all throughout the week. So it should be a fun week. Let's get it started. So it's Sunday, and I flew into Raleigh this morning, and to just set the scene here for you, it was 2008. That was the last time Democrats voted for a president, a Democratic president, Barack Obama. Since then, they continue to strike out. 2012, it went to Romney. 2016, it went to Trump. 2020, just narrowly, it went to Trump as well. This year, 2024, Democrats feel pretty good that they could actually win North Carolina. They've invested really a lot of resources.
We've built a campaign built to scale. We started it earlier than ever before, and we feel confident in the level of infrastructure.
But it's still a challenge because you talk to a lot of people here and they'll tell you, yeah, North Carolina is a purple state, but it kind of hews red.
Is all of the money that they're taking into their coffers really going to pay off to push a potentially stuck battleground state into the Democrats' win column?
So today I'm going to eastern North Carolina, which doesn't always get the attention as other parts of the state. It has a little more poverty and a little more unemployment. So here's some of the conversations I had with voters in eastern North Carolina. You'll hear from two Trump supporters from the Durham area, but I caught up with them at a barbecue spot in Wilson. This voter named Larry Matlock hasn't voted for a Democrat since Bill Clinton.
Turn left. You've entered the parking lot for your destination.
Is this the best barbecue in eastern North Carolina?
I don't know about that. Mike cooks the best barbecue.
Is that right? There's nothing Democrats could say or Harris could say that would sway you to vote for them.
North Carolina used to be a Democratic state.
Yeah.
But this is not the same Democratic Party as it was when I was growing up. My dad was a Democrat. Yeah, but the Democratic Party is no longer the same type of party.
I think they moved away from their principles and agendas. I think their beliefs are too far Marxist, it's too far left.
Social issues are big for you.
Yeah.
Trump doesn't sit well with everybody, you know that.
Yeah.
He doesn't always stick to script. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
Okay.
It's free speech. He can say what he wants to. He should be able to. And he's not the same politician we get where they just say the same things over and over and over.
I'm Yvonne McLeod. We've been in Rocky Mount for 18 years. Originally, I'm from Jamaica, so I've been a naturalized citizen for 30 years. This election, I think the border is huge. As a naturalized citizen, it absolutely is nauseating to see people running through the border as if it doesn't exist. Not willing to become a part of America, but will come in here just to take whatever they can and however they can, and that is really annoying. We've had Democrat rule in so many of our rural areas, District 1 in particular, for so long, and nothing's changed. So I think people are really looking for a change. We have been making strides with things that matter, with the farming issue, with people wanting to have their children, the choices of their schools.
Who will you be voting for president?
Donald Trump.
Okay, thank you.
So here's what you need to know about North Carolina. The Trump and Harris campaigns have zeroed in on 7 battleground states this year: Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. Of those states, the only one that didn't vote for Joe Biden in 2020 was North Carolina. So Trump is on defense here, while the Harris campaign thinks they may be able to flip it this year. Critical to Harris winning is boosting turnout in the state's big cities of Charlotte and Raleigh, which she will easily win, but she needs to do even better than Democrats of recent. But what's interesting about North Carolina that I don't think many people realize is the state has the second largest rural population in the country, with nearly 3.5 million people. There's actually a greater percentage of North Carolinians, 33%, who live in rural areas than Texas, for example. And so this is why you've seen the campaigns put significant focus on rural North Carolina, a place where Trump has done well. During my trip, I caught up with North Carolina Democratic Party Chair Anderson Clayton, who is not only the youngest party chair, state party chair in the country, she's also from a rural area. And she talked to me about the changing political affiliations in rural areas and what Democrats are doing this year. I joined her on a college campus.
There was existing infrastructure in this state. It just needed to be revived. It needed power to be put into it. It needed capacity built up to it. Like, we have lost rural North Carolina on 80-20 margins the last 4 election cycles. What if we just did it a little bit better and we moved it to 60-40?
Now, we also caught up with the head of the Republican Party in the state. And remember, Republicans have done well in North Carolina. Trump chose the last GOP chair, Michael Whatley, to co-lead the National Republican Party.
Is there a risk, though, of getting into a position where you're comfortable with the status quo?
No, and this is what keeps me up at night. How do you continue to make sure that you're moving that ball forward? Making sure that you are having every opportunity maximized every single day to get out the vote.
And how difficult is it to win the White House if you don't get North Carolina?
No pressure on North Carolina, and that's one of those things that keeps me up at night.
I ended my week in Cabarrus County outside of Charlotte. It's a solidly Republican county, but in recent elections, the gap has gotten smaller. I tagged along with this Harris campaign volunteer.
My granddaughters, they are my North Star. They're 9 years old. I've even trained them to be canvassers. So, I mean, that's my heart. That's why I do this. I want to leave them a world that's better than what it is right now. Rosa Culver Sims. If you put a second M in it, you got to give me $1 million.
What's the biggest issue for you that you want to hear from the candidates to address?
Well, actually, I think they have, because, I mean, democracy, in my opinion, if we don't have that, nothing else matters. You know, there won't be any kind of rights. So that freedom is critical to me at that point, so it's a little different. Hi, how are you?
Sims feels good about this year's ticket as she takes her message through the city of Concord.
Can we count on you to support Kamala?
Oh, always. I'm Democrat straight.
Democratic straight.
But behind a solid Democrat is a solid no vote. This man says he's never voted before.
What would it take to change your mind?
You made your pitch, but what more can you do?
It takes sitting down, having a conversation with them. That's why the canvassing way before the election is so important.
So I'm heading to the airport in Charlotte, wrapping up 6 jam-packed days, traveling the great state of North Carolina. Kamala Harris has a real fighting chance, but Republicans also have a really good chance to win as well. So hopefully you learned something. I know I did. And it's been a fun week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Off to the airport, head back to DC, and I'm gonna take a nap.